gymnocarpa, and I always thought, wow, I mean, for somebody of her age and stature and everything, to be encouraging an 8-year-old kid who came in from the student section there is pretty darned impressive, and probably a very good lesson for all of us. I went on, 1950, I went on the Sierra Club base. When I was 14, I went on the Sierra Club base camp trip at the recommendation of Tom Howell, because he wanted to know what plants there were in the South Fork of Bishop Creek. He'd been on all the base camps since 1941, but couldn't go that summer for some reason. And that was right after the war, pretty close after the war, so they were assigning ride shares more. So I was assigned a ride share for somebody in Berkeley as a 14-year-old, and I began talking to this person. I said, well, I got this thing, it's a plant crest, and so forth, and began describing it. He says, oh, I know what that is, it's okay. It turned out that the person who was giving me the ride was Ledyard Stebbins. It was amazing for a 14-year-old. He was just going to move that autumn to Davis to start the genetics department in Davis, and variation and evolution in plants came out a few months later after that trip. Anyway, that got me off to a good start. Now, a little vignette, and I'm getting very close to the end of this, so those who are asleep pretend to be awake now, and people around you won't know the difference. Stebbins had collected and counted the chromosomes of what was then called Haplopappus eximius, which grows around Mount Talac, around Lake Tahoe, and there was a Haplopappus eximius variety Pearsoni that grew in the southern Sierra Nevada around Bishop Creek and southward, and it was sort of more robust and all, and Stebbins suspected it was a different species. Eximius had a gametic chromosome number of n equals 9, and we got material of Pearsoni, and it turned out to have a gametic chromosome number of n equals 45. And that, along with other features, made us separated as a species. Well, I'm here to tell you, when Flora of North America Compositae came out, I avidly looked up those species to see how they were treated. And remember, we were just on the edge of whether we could tell them apart at all. And lo and behold, they were in separate genera. I said, holy smokes. So when I figured the 45 one must have had genomes from other genera, and they must have looked at it genetically. But I looked in the new edition of the manual, and by golly, there are 3 species of Tonestus in there, and those are 2 of them. God bless Lowell Urbash, who wrote that treatment. One could not believe they were really in different genera. Well, I went on, I collected in the Presidio a species of Clarkia and a species of Arctostaphylos, I think they're called, those sprawling hardleaf things, that had been collected by Catherine Grandy around 1906, but had never been named. I mean, both of them had. The Clarkia led me to Harlan Lewis, because he and Margaret were writing a monograph of Clarkia then, and they found the specimens, and wanted to find out about that one. We later described it, and that became part of the catastrophic selection story and all the rest. I was very fortunate.